birth, so God must be a female. So, okay. So anyway, she and I have this long-standing argument that we have. But nonetheless, and let me just tell you my story. So I wanted to meet Sufis because Sufism is this really, really cool, mystical component of Islam. And, oh, dudes, don't forget to turn your phone off. And so just like in Christianity, where Jesus said, follow me to get to God. Basically what he was saying, his whole teachings are about reducing the ego and eliminating the ego. And just be with other people. Don't build yourself up. Build yourself down. Feed the poor and be with the poor and don't seek power and do this and be nice and be kind and all of these things, which is like reduce the ego, eliminate it, shrink it. So you just be one. You follow the steps of Christ. And then you be like Christ and you be godlike. And it's an amazing path when you do that. I mean, holy smokes. Don't seek power and fame and all that kind of stuff. Like Jesus would not be digging on the Kardashian route. You know what I mean? So in any case, in Islam, in Sufism, it's the same thing. The goal of Sufism is to shrink the ego so that you become one with God. And so they do this thing called whirling. And whirling is like meditating. So if you meditate, those of you who have practiced kind of meditation or Buddhist, or those of you who have had some mystical experience, you can go to this really amazing place. But they whirl. And they have this, and I'm not going to go into the names of everything, but there are two things. The one hand goes up to the heavens because you're connected to God. And the other hand goes down to the earth because you're grounded with humanity. The hat what's the cap that they wear looks like a tombstone because that represents their own tombstone, which is the death of their ego. And then they whirl, and they whirl really fast. And they have these outfits that are like these like it would be like dresses, it's men and women, and they whirl really fast, and you get into like a trance state. All the while, your energy is going up to heaven and down to the earth. So you're grounding yourself to God. You're focusing on becoming one with yourself by becoming one with your consciousness, which kills your ego, and then you become one with God. It's like, oh my God, right? Is that not awesome? Is that not awesome? And then you walk through the world. So I met this guy, and I wanted to find a Sufi, because I was in Turkey, and I'm like, I got to find. So I met this old guy on the street, and he said, I'll take you to the Sufi. Meet me right back here at 5 o'clock. And so 5 o'clock, taxi pulls up, and this old dude rolls the window down. He's like, hop in. And I hopped in, and he takes me around through the streets of Istanbul, if you've ever been in Istanbul, And then we stop in front of this house, and we go up these winding stairs, and we open the door. And there's this guy sitting in his little prayer room, just like this. Just waiting for me. He didn't even know I was coming, and the dude's waiting for me, right? He had no idea I was coming, and he's waiting for me, right? And right ahead of him is a little window, and the minaret of the mosque, one of the central mosques in Istanbul, is right outside his window, and there's a crescent moon, and oh my God. And I sit down in front of this guy. I don't speak Turkish or Arabic. He speaks both. We just start looking. I sit in front of him, and we look at each other, and we just start giggling and laughing. And our eyes connected, and we were like that for about 2 hours, man. I'm telling you, I just was transported into another place. And then he says, repeat after me. And I had no idea he was saying this, but this is what he said, and I knew he was saying it, so I just repeated after him. And when we got done, he says, okay, you're a Muslim. And he's speaking in Turkish. And I'm like, and I didn't know that's what he said, but I knew what he said. In the end, the old guy who spoke broken English, he said, yeah, you're Muslim now. So he named me Suleiman and invited me back the next day for one of his rituals. And I came back, and I'm like, okay, I'm Muslim. But then he said something. This is how it fits to this class. He said, well, you can't believe in evolution. And the guy was able to translate that. And I said, okay, ain't gonna happen. So, yeah, he still thinks I'm a Muslim. Well, maybe I am. I guess I am. I don't know. But I don't believe in evolution, so I'm also a Christian. I don't know what I am. Anyway, I'm a little bit of everything. So